My name is Michelle Royal. I'm 50 years old. I'm from Midlothian, Texas. What makes me tick? My children, my grandkids. I'm very blessed. To help others in life is what really makes me tick. I've always been that person. I've always been a social butterfly. I never meet a stranger. And when I know that I connect with others, that is what makes me click. Some of my favorite things are, I love art and I love to dance. It's one of my favorite things to do. I dance all the time, even at home. Music, I love live music and just any music. I'm very adventurous, so I like getting out. I don't like staying inside, and family. I love being with family. I have a lot of people in my life that bring me so much joy. With selling homes, I was in real estate, so I was super busy and I was working my days off. And so, I didn't feel myself falling. I thought I was just tired from the stress. So I feel like I kind of ignored some of the signs, and I had my breast started leaking. And so on vacation. And so when I got home, I had an appointment with a doctor and they told me that it was possible infection. They didn't do a mammogram. And I didn't push it because I really wasn't that educated on it. So 6 months went by and I was moving positions to another job, and then we found a lump and when I started to relax. And so that's how I found out. And then because of changing my career, it was tough because I had no insurance. And I had to Google, do everything I could to find help, which was hard. But it turned into stage 4. So in that meantime, within that year, and my whole life changed. When I was diagnosed, I was uninsured. I had to research to find insurance or help to get insurance because I reached out to resources that turned me away. Several of them did. And I couldn't get any help. And I finally found someone that could help me. It took me a while as the cancer was growing, with me unknowing, but and so I found resources in my area that have programs. A friend referred me to a clinic, and they did get me the doctor appointment, the 3D mammogram, sonogram, and they had programs for women without insurance. They pay for all of it for you. Of course, you have to fill out paperwork and you have to qualify, but there is help out there in every county in Texas. There is. And you can do that. So that's what got me the help that I needed. She set me up with a doctor, and I drove 2 hours to get to that doctor, ran out of gas because I was so nervous. I didn't know where I was going, and some cowboy pulls over and says, "Ma'am, can I help you?" in the middle of nowhere. And so he got the gas for me, and then I drove, and he made me follow him to the doctor's office and didn't ask for anything. And I was late. So, of course, I was in tears. When I walked in, I told her, I said, "I'm sorry that I'm late." She said, "We don't need an explanation. We're ready for you." And when I went back to the room, they did an examination. And when they saw my breast, blood squirted out of my breast from across the room when he pushed on it. The tumors went from 1 to 8, that breast. They made me go in at 7:30 that morning the next day, and my mom went with me, and she was there, and they did 3D mammogram after 3D mammogram. They just couldn't get all of it. And so they did the sonogram, they did the biopsy, and I knew. And they came in, and they said, "We're gonna give you a minute with your mom because we believe you have inflammatory breast cancer." They did the PET scan, we got the results that day, and I was stage 4. Didn't even know I had it in my lungs. But it spread to my lungs, my lymph nodes, and my liver. But it looked like you took a paintbrush and just splattered my entire body. It was a lot. And I didn't know if I was gonna die. but I didn't want to die. I started chemotherapy. And so I was supposed to do 6 rounds of that, but it ended up, I did 8 because for some reason my insurance changed in the middle within the 5 rounds, and they made me wait 2 months before I could do the other, so I had to do 8 rounds. And so it grew in between there. I didn't get all of it. After that, they wouldn't do surgery because they said stage 4 couldn't get surgery. So I did research on that too. The tumors were small and they were just in my breast at the time, so I fought to get radical mastectomy. And I was very new and uneducated. And so I started doing research with advocates. And the doctor I had, he would not he told me that I was silly to even ask. And he hadn't even looked at any of my scans because he didn't even know what hospital I came from. He forgot my name every time I went in there. And he said the outside of my breast, there was a tumor growing on the outside. It pushed. That's why they thought I had inflammatory. But it turned out to be invasive ductal carcinoma. It just was pushing out, attached to the inside, growing around my breast. It was growing so much that it covered the entire breast. And he said it was scar tissue. So when he said that, I switched doctors immediately. And that took me 2 months. So I went without treatment for 2 months. And then I interviewed a couple of oncologists, and we kind of interviewed each other, the second one, and then we fit perfect. And he put me back on targeted therapy and watched the outside. And I just went home and I thought, I'm just going to put a marker, get a marker, permanent marker. And they're going to believe me because I'm going to prove it. This is the only way I could think of it because it was growing so fast. And when I did, I went to see him 3 weeks later and it had grown. And I told him, I said, look, I'm begging you to remove this breast. I want to remove both of them if I can. I said, I'm going to die this year, and I know that. Maybe in 6 months, I know. And he agreed. So they set me up with a surgeon. They did another scan afterwards, and it came back in my lymph nodes. I had to do more chemo. And so I did a total of 21 rounds of chemo within a year and a half and 33 rounds of radiation. Right now, I'm doing much better. The last scan I got last year, which I'm due for my next PET scan next week, no evidence of any disease. So nothing active. And so now my tumor markers have gone up, but that could be change of medicine, anything. We'll find out next week, but I'll get my PET scan. So, there's a few concerns, but I'm keeping my head up. I'm going to think positive. And if it is, I'll just do whatever I have to do. It was unreal. When I looked at the scans, I realized it was in my lungs and everywhere else. In my mind, I didn't know breast cancer could do that. I did not know it could spread. I guess I was so uneducated that I really didn't know. I was shocked. And my entire family was there with me, and they were shocked. All of us were, because my lungs, we counted 18 nodules and tumors in just my lungs, both together. It just had spread quite a bit, but I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. All I could do was smile and just know that my family, what they were feeling, and I just wanted them to be okay. I sat with myself quite a bit. I did a lot of thinking, more than I've ever done in my whole life. And I prayed a lot, and I still do. But sitting with myself, and in my mind, I literally told my doctor, I'm going to come up with a business plan, and I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to do the chemo, and I'm going to write things down. I'm going to focus. I'm going to start writing, and I'm going to make sure that I do everything I need to do. If I need to be positive, something's going on, it was just going to be my business plan. No idea why I came up with that, but it helped me focus and to stay strong for my family. The worst part for me is my daughter. She was 12, she's 16 now, and she's amazing. The hardest thing for me was watching her watch what I had to go through, but she wouldn't have it any other way. She said, I'm strong enough to do this, Mom. And she wanted to give me baths. She wanted to make my dinner at 12 years old. And then some days I couldn't drive her to school, which is our favorite time of the day. She wanted to make sure I was okay, and she encouraged me. She said, I know you don't want me to say you got this, but you're strong. But all my kids, were there. But the hardest thing is watching your kids watch you go through something and the expressions on their face and not knowing the fear, and for them not to be able to tell you because they don't want to make you feel bad. Because I'm a fixer, and I want to fix everything. The reason I wanted to share my story is because I remember sitting on my porch and I felt hopeless. Like I had nobody, because I didn't want to tell anybody. I felt a little crazy at the time because I didn't know if I was overthinking it, and I was underthinking it. And I would hate to see another single mom, or even anyone, man or woman, feel like that and hopeless, thinking that they can't get help, thinking there's no help out there and that they're not worth it, because everyone's worth it. Life is important, and I wanted to share because I want other people to be educated. I was lost. I didn't know anything at all. Just like I said, I didn't know it could spread to your other parts of your body. That was the biggest shocker of all. I didn't even know what metastatic breast cancer was. And I would hate for anyone in this situation to not know the right questions to ask, because that matters. Because if I wouldn't have learned from advocacy of metastatic breast cancer, the questions to ask and what not to ask, I wouldn't be here today. I know that for a fact. I wouldn't have asked for my breast to be removed. I was told it couldn't be. And then I saw other people could do it, and that to advocate for yourself. When I learned that, that's when I really started fighting. My photo shoot today was amazing. I pushed myself a little bit, and that was good. I need to do that, and I'm doing that more because I'm more in the healing stages in my mind is what I want to be doing. I haven't felt that confident, and honestly, I felt really sexy. It was amazing, and I haven't felt that way in a long time. So, and just watching everyone's faces and the joy it brought to everyone, it just made me feel so good. I'll never forget it. It was wonderful, and the water felt really good on my feet. To be in this house with other women like me I don't even know if there's words for it. It is just, I feel like I'm with family. And when we all connected, it's just, I feel like we're the same. And it just is so comforting, because just for us I feel the thriving off each other and understanding, and being around someone who actually understands before it comes out of my mouth is so refreshing. And even I feel like that I've educated a couple of people already, as they have me, on things they didn't know. And, some of the early starters with the medicine or chemo. So just the bonding and all that, I feel like I have sisters. That's what I feel like. I have family, and we'll connect forever. And I hope that we can help a lot of people. But being in this house is one of the best feelings ever. It's overwhelming, but a great overwhelming feeling. Fearless means to me, it's powerful in the world that we live in. And Fearless to me is finding the joy in the darkness, being that shining light and showing others in our situation that, it is scary and it's a dark world, but we can make it brighter and we can thrive and we can do this together because we have to stick together so we can help each other with advocating, educating for the entire world, as common as this is now. And with the joy and the love and embracing everything, every color, every smell, every kiss, every hug, every touch of your loved ones. That's the joy of it. And to be able to do that and through all of this and smile, even when someone's having a bad day and you're probably having a worse day, and just to lift up and smile anyways. I mean, to me, that's fearless. That's living fearless.